Birthright sold because of God's call. Hello. We're still studying about Jacob and his twin brother Esau, their dad, Isaac, and their grandfather Abraham. Esau was a very skilled hunter, and Jacob, he was a quiet man. He enjoyed staying at home in the tent. Isaac, he loved Esau. He was his favorite. And the reason is because he loved the food, the wild game that Esau killed and brought home to eat. Now Rebekah, she loved Jacob. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One time Jacob was at home cooking some stew. It was like a soup. Esau, he was out in the field, and he was exhausted. He was also so hungry. And he saw Jacob cooking the stew as he was coming home, and he told him, "Give me some of that stew." And Jacob saw that he could take advantage of his older brother. So he said to him, "You sell me your birthright right now." Esau said, "Well, if I don't eat now, I'm going to die." Esau, he didn't care about his birthright exchanging it for food. That meant he didn't care about the birthright, period. He thought it was of no value. Really, it is very valuable. And the reason is because of the birthright. There's many blessings, and a great inheritance comes with that. But he didn't care. He wanted stew. So Jacob told him, he said, "If you vow that you will give up your birthright to me, then yes, I will give you some of this stew." So Esau vowed and sold his birthright. Jacob gave him stew and gave him some bread with it. And Esau ate, finished, and then he left. Esau hated his birthright. Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Although Esau was irresponsible to lose his birthright, God's word remained true. The word that he gave Rebekah before the children were born, it was fulfilled. God's promise was sure. Though they were not yet born and had done nothing either good or bad, in order that God's purpose of election might continue, not because of works, but because of him who calls. This lesson, how do we apply it to our lives today? Well, I'd like you to read Genesis chapter 25 and 26 to learn more about the story of Jacob and Esau. They were both sinners, the same as you and I. Doesn't matter if they sinned, though. God chose Jacob. He did not choose Esau. We're going to learn more about the two later. I want you to understand election, the background of it. Election, the people that God chose. He chose a people for himself way before there was ever an Abraham. Right now, there's some verses I'd like you to read. Coram Deo. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for his treasured possession, out of all the peoples who are on the face of the earth. Simeon has related how God first visited the Gentiles to take from them a people for his name. For the Lord has chosen Jacob for himself, Israel as his own possession, even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and blameless before him. To live coram Deo is to live one's entire life in the presence of God, under the authority of God, to the glory of God.